Young men are having less sex, getting less driver's licenses, going to less university, and even if they are going, they aren't graduating. And a lot of people are saying that this is due to many different uncontrollable economic and social variables, but obviously it serves you better to focus on the variables you can control that we're going to cover later on in this video. But for now, it needs to be said that, can you even blame the guys? Everybody's spending more time on the internet these days, and any young man who looks at social media is just seeing all the women are over politicized and over aggressive and things like that. So why compete to become more attractive to them? Getting a job feels like it takes twice as much effort for half the purchasing power that our grandfathers had. And when you watch a ton of self-improvement content, it feels like every guy's already going to the gym. So you need 5 years of experience in the gym just to be competitive with the next guy. So I just want to say I get it, bro. If you're a young man underperforming from the potential you know you have, I get it, okay? We're not going to give you the excuse of letting you continue to underperform by the end of this video, but I just want to say I fucking get it, bro. Young men seem to be on a trend of fulfilling their inherent desires for power, for financial success, for sexual success, all through their screens, through these video games, through porn, because of how much easier it is to succeed in these fantasies. You can be the most sexually attractive guy in the world having sex with 10 supermodels at the same time if you find the right video. And in any video game you boot up, the default character you create is just jacked right off the bat, and it takes you maybe 10 hours to make $10,000 in the game. All of this goes to say that you can see why men would be opting out of succeeding in reality when it is 10 or 20 times harder when you compare it to these video games that they can play online. Hell, even friendships and socializing is way easier with these parasocial relationships with like Twitch streamers, YouTubers, etc. When you compare it to the fact that in person, you know, maybe you say something awkward, maybe you say something that they don't agree with and you have to contend with that, when it's so much easier when you're eating food rather to FaceTime a friend and like a normal person, you just boot up a video and kind of just start bonding with this person on the screen. The crux of today's video is that the toxic thing keeping guys binging on these easier instant gratification fulfillments of their inherent desires for sex, success, socialization, etc. is the fact that they've never experienced what life can be like once they are that successful man at the end of the self-improvement journey. In only 6 months, I went from 130 pounds to 140 pounds by force feeding myself to hit my caloric surplus. In that time, friends I hadn't seen over the course of that period, who I eventually hung out with at the end, they instantly noticed once we saw each other, bro, you're looking good. Like, what happened? You're filling out your shirt way better. What's going on? And it's a true story. I went to some hangout, some barbecue at the end of the 6-month period recently, and the validation I got for filling out my t-shirt just a little bit better with 10 more pounds, that validation was worth the 6 months of basically filling myself up until I wanted to throw up with food, because it was healing years, even a decade of being bullied essentially for being the skinny guy and all of that disrespect you receive when you're either too skinny or too fat. Bro, the validation I got for getting compliments on my body on my gym journey, that was healing in some next level way, bro. You know, when I got that validation, man, it's addicting. I just want to get more and more of it and continue to improve my physical health. Similarly, in the sexual romantic realm, earlier when I was way less attractive at the start of my self-improvement journey, after spending so much time on the internet, it just felt like all these women, you know, especially when you spend too much time in the like red pill Reddits and things like that, it really turns you into a misogynist, I'm not gonna lie. And it turns this whole dating thing into this kind of like toxic, like dehumanizing experience that you're just trying to get sex and it's not actually about bonding with the person. But now I've done the self-improvement, and through becoming more attractive myself, I've started attracting, and I've successfully attracted, a feminine, supportive woman who's an asset in my life. The thing that I've learned in this experience is that these women start to exist in your world only after you become attractive to them. Before, when you're, you know, below their standards, you're just completely invisible to these women. But the more attractive you become, the more you start realizing that the women you truly want, the gorgeous babes who she gets along with your family, she's a good person, she's smart, she's funny, etc., etc. These women start to populate your world only once you've done the self-improvement to become attractive to them. So it's like a positive snowball effect. The more self-improvement you do, the more you see the rewards and the more you want to do self-improvement consistently. Another example is just financially. I used to be a minimum wage worker. I would spend my entire day's salary just on one night out with the boys, and it was so discouraging. All I would do is just complain about the price of everything rather than focus on how I can earn more money. Now that I'm further along in my career, I've got enough, thankfully, I'm very grateful for this disposable income to, get the Uber Eats, which is crazy overpriced, but I can afford it once a week. Get the super overpriced meal with my girlfriend and treat her once a week. I can do that now. But what I've realized and the change in my mindset now has been, okay, well, I'm not going to change the price of all this overpriced shit. All I can do is continue to increase my income and my financial health so that I can enjoy these beautiful moments with the girlfriend or this freeing moment of just sitting on the couch and having the food come to me with the Uber Eats. I can enjoy those more by just continuing to add value to the world. A similar story is how a very good friend of mine, about once a year, he treats himself to some sort of vacation or some sort of goodie that feels like the kind of really treating yourself that the people a level above us in terms of their financial health and success would enjoy. He takes himself on a trip that's a bit more expensive than maybe we can afford, but he does that to remind himself that there is a better life out there. This bougie life that he's living this week, some people every single day of their lives is like that. And it reminds him to stay hungry and to continue grinding so that that can be his everyday life. Obviously, going on trips that you can't really afford is not good financial advice at all. But this friend I'm referencing, he's been doing better and better every year. And I asked him and he says it's in large part because he constantly reminds himself on a regular basis that there is better out there. There is no kind of cap anytime soon for us at how much enjoyment you can get out of life. When you work harder and get more consistent with your self-improvement, you do get rewards out of it. It's not like it's some painful grind where you just grind and then there's no reward at the end of the tunnel, like a lot of guys are led to believe, thinking there's no attractive girls left, there's no attractive jobs left, there's no point to getting a great physique because every other guy has one anyway, so it's not that valuable anymore. All of these things do improve your life, bro, and there are rewards at the end of the hard work. By the way, brother, if it's your first video on this channel, my name is Ethan, and after binging self-improvement content and books and courses and YouTube videos for over 6 years between 18 and 24 years old, I finally created this channel for other young men in that same self-improvement depression stage. You already know what you need to be doing every day after watching so many different YouTube videos, but you haven't taken consistent action on those things you already know. And in these videos, I prompt you with these mini, very easy action missions to eventually rewire your brain to be able to become a man of action who just learns something new and immediately implements it into his life and keeps implementing it for the rest of his life to be more successful. If that sounds useful to you, which it really should, I highly advise you to subscribe, bro. So today's video action mission, brother, with that said, is I want you to just write down 3 things that you want out of your self-improvement journey. I don't know, I don't care if it's a foursome with Instagram models, I don't care if it's some luxury car or a mansion with no neighbors beside it, I don't care if it's like you get to have a conversation and party with your favorite rapper or whatever. There's no constraints. Pretend you're a little kid in a candy store and just list 3 things that are they sound unrealistic, but don't put those kinds of regulations on your dreams right now. Just list 3 things that you've wanted more than anything else in life and realize that all it takes is the first 6 months of consistency that you force yourself to do before you get addicted to the self-improvement for the rest of your life, and you will eventually earn those things on that list. If you're afraid that you're about to click off this video and just do fuck all and not improve your life at all, then click on this playlist that I specifically engineered to get you to take action after every one of these self-improvement YouTube videos you watch. And with that, I'll see you in that next video.